just stay true to your vision and don't get caught up in the, comparisonitis, because that's really just going to prevent you from moving forward. It's going to prevent you from doing anything, and you're going to stay stuck in that analysis paralysis mode forever. You can launch with one product. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you're going to learn so much just through the process of launching your store with that one product that you're going to be able to iterate over and over again and just make it look better over time. It's not going to prevent you from selling that one product. You just have to keep moving forward.
Welcome to the Simple and Smart SEO Show podcast. I'm your host, Krista Waddell, here to bridge the gap between SEO strategy and real-world business success. So grab a coffee or your favorite tea, and let's dive into smarter SEO for your business. What do you think are the most exciting ways that Shopify's kind of integrated AI?
Yeah, I think within their builder that you can use AI to help you create sections and different blocks, different visual elements. That's really cool. I think there needs to be a little bit more training on their end as far as how to prompt and just make it look professional. I do love the idea that there is an AI theme generator to help people just build a store based on their industry and what they're selling. So you can literally prompt it like, I sell dog toys and accessories, for example, and it will create a theme around that industry. Is it perfect? No, because when I was doing that for this specific industry, I would get a cat theme. Like, I said nothing about cats. Why are you giving me cats? So, like I said, I think there are going to be improvements, and this is the worst it's ever going to be, right? Because we are at the very foundational level of AI and people trying to figure this out. But it is exciting. And I think for people that struggle with design or aesthetics, it could be beneficial. It could speed up the process for them. Having a store more quickly instead of taking months, that's a possibility as well. So long as, you're still learning how your store functions and how to build things over time. Because like I said, I just don't think letting Shopify create your entire store with AI and using it like what it gives you and then just switching out copy. As someone who's been doing websites forever, I just don't think that is a smart way to go, like for an e-commerce store, but maybe to just get you up and started and familiar with the builder before you go live, and then learning how to customize those different elements is definitely going to help people, which is also very exciting because I think people get tripped up with learning a new tool and a new system, and then it prolongs their whole excitement and idea from actually getting launched into the world. And that's the part that sucks. But with these innovative people, I think it's going to be a better possibility for everyone to get up and going more quickly, is the idea. So I hope that's how it works,
Yeah. And I like the idea of the themes by category, because I think we've all seen those stores that have some random text in the middle of the page. And once you built a Shopify store, you're like, oh my gosh, somebody forgot to delete a block or something right there. My son, the other day, I wouldn't buy shoes from a particular website because it had something like that going on. I was like, I don't know that this is actually even legit, because if they have this little weird template piece right here in the middle of their homepage, they're not all the way right there.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you talk about like a time frame for a Shopify store, what is a reasonable time frame? Because I know for me, when I went from my GoDaddy whatever store to Shopify, I'm all about like getting it done, not perfect, but just getting it done and then learning over time. But I did it in 2 weeks. I had a frame of knowledge from my previous store. If you're moving from WooCommerce, or if you're building a store for the first time, like what are the ranges of the timeline, like some reasonable expectations for people?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like it all comes down to, are you a perfectionist, or can you just do the work to get the idea up and launched and then iterate? Because I'll tell you, over time, you're always going to iterate depending on the season, depending on what you sell, depending on the holidays that are coming up. You're going to be rearranging things. You're going to be featuring different collections of different products and changing out your banners. So a reasonable time would be 30 to 60 days, depending on your collections and how many products you have. And I will say that you can launch your store with one product. You don't need 100 different variants. I've seen people with like t-shirt trainings or whatever, like, oh, you should have 100 different designs before you launch. And that's so much pressure to put on someone. All of these like POD trainers and stuff, that's their messaging. Have as many products as possible. But that actually really prevents someone from just launching their idea. So if you have an idea in a product, launch with one product, design your homepage around that product. And then after you launch, you can upload more products and expand on your idea instead of just sitting around and waiting for the right time, quote unquote, right time.
That is such a good point. And one thing that I've meant to follow up on was third-party themes. I think I've purchased one third-party theme in my whole life, and I'm like, why did I do that? Can you talk about like why you would recommend or not recommend using Shopify themes? And also, if you get a Shopify theme in their store, is that the same as like using a Shopify free theme?
Yeah. So the free theme within Shopify, like the more I've designed over the years too in Shopify and use their own tools, I don't want to use third party. If you're making millions of dollars a year, then yeah, up level the theme, make it look insanely good. Like you can still do that with the out of the box Shopify themes, but you're going to get a little more structure and bells and whistles and extras that come with third party developed themes. So there's that. But you don't need to go that route. So Shopify has their default theme, and then under that default theme, they have additional look and feel themes that go under that theme. So for example, with the Dawn theme, all of their free themes, I think there's 12 or 13, something like that. Those are iterations of the Dawn theme. They're just different designs and perspectives and starting points for business owners that like a different vibe. But within all of the free themes, those are all developed by Shopify, and they are essentially the exact same thing. They are just designed differently. So there's that. And then with Horizon, it's the same bag. So if you go to the Horizon landing page, there's going to be other themes within Horizon that are differently named, right? And they look different, but they're all the same theme, essentially. They're just designed differently. So now Shopify has double the free themes because they had everything that's under Dawn, which is free, and then now everything under Horizon, which is free. I don't know what they're going to do again with all of the things Dawn oriented, but we'll find out in the future. So third-party themes, they're really great if you're going to go that route. They just come with a lot of extra bells and whistles, different sections. Some things, they come right out of the box where you can switch out different elements, images, copy, those types of things. I would say there is no such thing as a best theme for SEO, if we're going to get into that. I will say, though, the Horizon theme, there's been a lot of tests done around site speed and page loading time, and this is the fastest theme they have ever built for the Shopify platform. So it's already beneficial in that way. Also, with updating a third-party theme, you would have to essentially download the new version and then upload it to your store. And you can't just switch things over and update it right away, especially if you have a bunch of custom pages. You'll have to redo all of those things. So there are some pros and cons with third-party themes and Shopify's free themes. But if you're just getting started, use the free theme. As you go through the process of learning Shopify as a whole, you're going to find that you can customize the look and the feel of a free theme, so much so that you would never even know that it was a free theme. So especially with Horizon, having so much more design capability and flexibility, you're going to be able to use a free theme and make it look insanely good, that you're not going to need to spend that money. I will say, if you do go the route of a third-party theme, only buy on Shopify, because they go through a very extensive vetting process. It's like a 35-step process. Don't go through a Theme Forest or Creative Market or Etsy, any of those other platforms that are selling you templated stores. I would highly suggest to not go that route, just because there's no one really to talk to. They're not complying with Shopify's standards, and they're not approved by Shopify either. So by going through the theme store on Shopify and getting a third-party theme from them, you still are getting a really good functioning, highly functioning website that goes through very rigorous testing and processes to even be able to sell a theme on their store is highly coveted. You're in good hands either way you go. But if you're just getting started, use a free theme, 100%.
That is great advice. Okay, so let's talk about mindset stuff. I feel like I've already had to kind of work through a little bit of that and my beliefs about what I wanted to do versus what is just the most efficient. What do you think mindset wise Shopify store owners need to do in the next year or two to stay competitive in the e-commerce space?
Yeah, I feel like it just comes back to your own vision that you have for your store and what you're selling. Don't get wrapped up in comparing yourself to what other people are doing, what bigger brands are doing, and how it looks on the outside. All that matters is that if the idea came to you, it came to you for a reason, and it's true for you. So just put your blinders on and focus on your own vision and your own mission and how you want to be presenting what you want to sell in the marketplace. I think that more and more people are becoming aware of the opportunity to be self-sufficient and independent and make their own money, however that looks for them. Market research is fine, right? Do your due diligence. See if you have competition. If you do, that's a good sign. That means there's room for you. That means that you have a good idea and you should move forward with it. If there's no competition, that's probably a red flag. Like, oh, well, this hasn't been done before, so maybe it wouldn't sell at all. Or you're going to have to carve out a whole new section of the market to turn people on to your idea, which can be cool. You know, maybe you'll end up on Shark Tank someday if you have a new product idea. But just stay true to your vision and don't get caught up in the comparisonitis, because that's really just going to prevent you from moving forward. It's going to prevent you from doing anything, and you're going to stay stuck in that analysis paralysis mode forever. Just like with launching your store, you can launch with one product. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you're going to learn so much just through the process of launching your store with that one product, that you're going to be able to iterate over and over again and just make it look better over time. It's not going to prevent you from selling that one product. You just have to keep moving forward.
Okay, and what about tiers within Shopify? So you've got like your regular kind of starter $39 a month-ish, whatever that is now, Shopify plan, and then you have Shopify Plus. I think most people listening to this podcast would want to know, like, how do I know which one of those two options to choose for my Shopify store?
Sure. It all really just comes down to you get different like discounts. So say you're on Shopify payments, depending on your plan, you can get different discounts, and there's different benefits through upgrading your plan.
How can you identify that, oh, it would be better for my business to do the upgrade to Shopify Plus?
Okay, so it would just be a question of growth and customization, right? So you're going to get different benefits per different tier. So as a Shopify starter plan, that's going to get you up and running. And once you're to the 5K, 10K a month in sales, that might be a good time to move up to the next level. Once you're doing a couple 100,000, then go to the $299 a month level. After you reach that, $1 million in sales per year, that's when I would suggest anyone move to Shopify Plus, because you're going to get the most value at that stage. Getting your wholesale partners to have different logins. I mean, there's apps for that, right? But they are clunky at best. And in Shopify Plus, it's going to give that customized experience. If you have wholesalers you want to attract and have them have their own logins and be able to buy from you. Also, the different deeper customizations you can have on your store with a Shopify Plus store. A lot of people that are in that $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 million a year range, they want that greater flexibility where they're just out of the box doesn't work for them anymore. You also get higher touch points with Shopify when things come up, if problems arise, and they do a lot of the time. The simpler you can keep your business longer, I would recommend that. Growth is good. Don't get me wrong. Lots of sales is good as well. But with more traffic and more buyers, you just have more complex issues and more complicated problems. That's why there's different tiers to help store owners along their journey, not just with their growth, but how they take payments, how they're getting paid, different discounts for getting paid transactionally, like with your credit cards and things like that. So Shopify is just offering you different perks, I guess you would say, with those different plans. but you can stay on the basic for a while. It's not going to prevent you from making more money, but you will find that when you do upgrade to those different tiers, you do get more benefits when it comes to how you take payments and how Shopify Payments is charging you.
Obviously, we both believe in the power of SEO. I feel like a lot of people go ads first with Shopify. One of the biggest things I've seen helping other Shopify store owners is just the lack of knowledge of like duplicating pages, that you're like duplicating like the SEO information at the bottom of the page. Like it's just not even a consideration in the beginning. So why do you think that that happens? Why do you think Shopify store owners overlook SEO when they're building?
I think it's because a lot of people, they get excited about what they're doing and they want to set up their store and they want to start marketing right away. So they set everything up, they get ready to sell, and they're like, okay, now I have to start promoting. And they skip all of the kind of technical foundational stuff, or they just don't know about it. And they instantly jump to like, okay, I need to start getting on social, I need to run an ad, or I need to do my email, when really your store is your home base. Everything that functions properly starts with the foundation. It's like a house. When you build a house, you can't skip the foundation. Otherwise, you just have a slew of problems later. Starting with that foundational level is going to help lower ad costs. It's going to help people find you more organically. It's going to help you with Google Merchant Center. It's going to help your SEO in the long run there as well, because you can treat that like a storefront on Google for free. So not skipping your SEO is so important on so many different levels.
Do you happen to have a schema recommendation? Do you feel like really focusing on schema for Google Merchant Center is going to be important?
Yeah, so I've been listening to a lot of experts lately around Google Shopping and having, your AI shopper and how AI is going to be playing into Google Merchant Services down the road, or Google Merchant Center. And the schema is going to be important. There are a couple of different apps I've been playing with in Shopify for SEO, just testing them out. Yoast I love, but it's like $19 a month. You do have to be on that paid plan to have the schema and keep everything. You have your foundational stuff that you do, like your meta tags and your page titles and descriptions. Those can stay once you are done with Yoast, but having the schema capabilities that are intertwined with the app, is you have to pay for that.
You haven't told me about Idea to Income.
Idea to Income is my DIY Shopify course. Basically, what it is for new shop owners, ideally someone who's selling on Etsy who really wants to start their own Shopify store, someone who has been thinking about their product idea for a while. They want to do Shopify, but they're just not sure how to get started with it, or they're nervous to get started with it. They don't think they're technical enough or savvy enough to start their Shopify store. Idea to Income will get their store set up and launched for them in 30 days. We go through setting up the foundation of the store, picking the plan, getting that set up, building their framework, diving deep into the Horizon theme, which is funny because when I had the idea for this program, it was all based around Dawn, and that changed me. So they came out with that, and I had to course correct myself and go all in on Horizon. So I've been learning that this year. In the last cohort, we all learned it together, and it was funny and also really fun. So we then go into integrating different apps and optimizing your store from a foundational standpoint, like we chatted about with the SEO. And then we have launch week, which we go through launching everything, pointing your domain, and just make it really easy, manageable, bite-sized for people literally just getting started, not knowing anything about the platform, to getting launched in 30 days. So that's coming up, and it's really exciting. And I've had so many people that have had really great results with it and have launched beautiful stores that I'm just so, so proud of them.
Yeah, awesome. So I'll definitely link to that in the show notes. And then if anybody wants to follow you or connect with you to learn more about that, or just, follow you on TikTok, because I love your TikTok videos, where should they go?
I am e-commerce savvy everywhere. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok are like my main things, but e-commerce savvy will get you to me anywhere.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I know we're going to have to do this again.
You want to do it again?
Before you go, don't forget, if you want to finally feel confident about SEO, check out my new AI SEO Foundations course. In just 7 days, Crystal GPT will guide you step by step to make your website more findable and your business easier to buy from. Ready to get started? Visit SEOin7days.com and let AI make SEO simple. That's SEOin7days.com with the number 7.